Hi, welcome to the Enzyme Lab. I've already set up quite a bit of this lab. One thing that I did differently was that I brought a mug out to put the other equipment in there so it's not so dirty. So here's the lactase. This requires 150 mils using your 25 mil graduated cylinder. What I did was I had to fill this 6 times. So just remember that. If it's 150 mils and this is 25 mils, and you're going to have to fill this thing 6 times, 25 mils. Another thing differently that I did was when I made the paper, this is commonly something we do in chemistry, is that we make it a square, and then I'll show you after. So we cut this into a square, and so it looks like this. So when we put it on the balance, it'll sit better on the balance, and also it gives us a little bit of like a bend so we can just pour it into our solution. I'm actually pouring it as the wrong one. Okay, so this little sweet little scale that the kit came with, you have to take the top off of it, and there's our scale. So if you're gonna tare it, you turn it on, and then you put the paper on the scale, which doesn't seem to weigh anything. Oh, okay, there we go. And then we tare it by pressing it again. There you go. So I want to talk about the 5% glucose solution, or sucrose, sorry, the 5% sucrose solution. They tell you to put it into a 25 mil graduated cylinder and then add water and then pour it in here and then kind of pour it back and forth. That's fine. There is going to be 50 mils of water in this sample. This sugar kind of sticks to the plastic, and I think that's why they tell you to kind of move it back and forth from the thing. The other thing you can do is you can take the pipette and just kind of squirt it around to kind of move it around, and then it'll eventually dissolve, but it's going to take a little bit of time for that to happen. Okay, so be very careful with this step because everything is so tiny. Make sure that it doesn't tip over, and also make sure that you're putting your pipettes back into their respective cups. Make sure that. And then here are the glucose strips. I did not get a glucose strip chart in my kit, so I'm gonna look on the internet to see if I can find that. This is how it turned out. Okay, and record your results in data table 1. Okay, in this second exercise, I've taken 2 test tubes and labeled them cold, room, and hot. I already have some water boiling on the stove right now. The cold one is going to go into the freezer, and then the hot one, as soon as the pan is hot enough, is going to go into the boiling water. The next thing they want you to do is to label just 3 wells in a 24 well plate, A, B, and C. And I did it on the side because it's going to be easier to rub off later. And they also said to write on the paper towel cold, room, and then hot. Okay, so this is what the test tube that's going to be in the hot water is going to look like. I let it go to a rolling boil, and then I took it down to a low setting, and hopefully it'll stop boiling like this pretty soon. But we're going to boil this for 15 minutes. And also, we're going to incubate the freezer incubation for 15 minutes as well. While you're waiting for your incubations, you can go ahead and put the 10 drops of milk into your different wells on your 24 well plate, and also label the pipettes as well. Okay, so after you're done incubating your different treatments of lactase, take their temperature. I made this mistake of doing the hot one first and then the cold one and then the hot one, and I think that I actually cooled down the hot one. So I got kind of strange results. The cold one was like 0 degrees, which is to be expected. The hot was only 50 and the room was 22. Go ahead and record that into table 2. And then add 10 drops of each into their respective wells. I'm not quite sure what happened. Definitely different results than I thought. So cold and room look about the same. So not quite sure what happened. I even tried the room again using the lactase from the stock solution, and I got the same results. So I'm not really sure what's going on. Anyway, that's science for you. All right, well, thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.